Hey guys, welcome to Law Today. In today's video, let's look at a little bit about copyright laws and content disclaimers. Of late, I've seen a lot of YouTubers who put this content disclaimer when they use copyrighted material from other different sources. So, what exactly is a content disclaimer? And is it lawful? Is what we're going to be seeing in this video. So, the first thing to note that here, most YouTubers quote section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, which is first of all not relevant to our country because our Copyright Act is Copyright Act of India, which is 1957, for which I will give a link in the description. The next problem here is they quote section 107. Our Indian Copyright Act has only sections up to 79, and there is no section called section 107 of the Copyright Act. So what these acts are basically quoted from the United States. Their copyright law has been quoted in our country, which is of no purpose. So next point that we have to discuss here is a content disclaimer, or you call it a disclaimer or whatever you call it. Does this help you prevent copyright strikes in YouTube, or does it protect you from the copyright laws? No, it does not protect you in any way. What is copyrighted is going to be copyrighted. Just because you're going to put a disclaimer doesn't mean you are protected from the law. Now let's look into the Indian Copyright Act. So when you look at the Indian Copyright Act, we have section 52, which speaks a little bit about the concept of fair use and fair dealing. I will come back to fair use and fair dealing in the next portion of it, but right now, since we are going to be talking about the Indian Copyright Act section 52, we'll be dealing with fair dealing. So first of all, the first point here to notice, in India we use the term fair dealing and not fair use. So that itself is a big mistake which most people do. We use the concept of fair dealing and not fair use. So that is one. The next thing is we have the relevant section here is section 52 of the Copyright Act 1957, and whereas most people are quoting Title 17 US Code section 107, limitations on exclusive rights, fair use. These two are the mistakes that most YouTubers do. So what does section 52 actually talk about? So 52 is basically a provision where you can use copyrighted material without the permission of the author or the creator of that content. That is the entire concept of fair use. So it can be used for private or personal use, including research, criticism, review. All these are allowed even in India. Even in US it's allowed. In India also it is allowed. Now let us understand a little bit about copyright laws. So basically, what does fair use or fair dealing mean? Here let's look at both the meanings together. The first thing to notice, it's basically use of copyrighted material without permission. Wherever you can use copyrighted material without permission is where you can state it as fair use or fair dealing. It is an exception to copyright law. It is not that the person loses his copyright, but it's only an exception to his right to be copied. So copyright in simple terms is basically the right not for anybody to not copy your material. So this fair use and fair dealing helps certain categories of people from using such content as an exception. Next important thing to note is YouTube does not determine what constitutes as a copyright infringement. It is based on the law. So for us it might be the Indian Copyright Act, for others it might be the US Copyright Act. It depends on each country, and the YouTube has no say in with regard to what the law has to say. So it merely just follows the local laws that is applicable to us. Next important thing is disclaimers do not ensure protection. So just because you use a disclaimer doesn't mean you are protected under law. unless you fall under the section 52 of the Indian Copyright Act, this protection is not given. Next, duration is not considered. A lot of people think that if I put a short video or a short music or anything that is small from another copyrighted material, it is not going to be considered. That is not the case. Whether or not the size of the video doesn't actually matter. What you take, whether it's small, big or medium, the size is irrelevant. So if you take from a copyrighted material, you are bound to be liable under law. And the last thing that we have here is called the concept of transformation. So transformation is when you can use copyrighted material, but you transform it and make it into a completely new thing. It can be in, say you're taking my own video and you're adding completely different sort of an analysis, or if it's completely become a different form, then it is allowed, then you're protected under law. So apart from this, you do not have any other protection. So merely putting a disclaimer does not help you get any protection from copyright strikes, or which is done by YouTube, or under law you have no protection. So keep this in mind before you take any copyrighted material from other videos or songs or even pictures. So have a clear idea about what you want to do before you enter it, and also make sure you use the applicable law. There is no point in stating section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, which is the US Act, and our relevant act is 1957 Act, Copyright Act of 1957, and it only has sections up to 79. So that's it for today, guys. If you found this video helpful and if you want more details regarding the same, please do let me know in the comment section. If you like the video, please do subscribe. It gives me more motivation to do more such videos. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. See you. Bye bye.